ladies and gentlemen of the interwebs, YouTube, and beyond. Doing live coverage of the Apocalypse Night 2012. This is just a few minutes left here. 11:58 on the 20th, soon to be the 21st. I'm going to keep you up to date here. As soon as it reaches midnight, we will be, witnessing the event as it happens. So far, the sky looks pretty normal for being 11:58 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, I am aware that it may happen in Mountain Time or maybe on the West Coast. I mean, I'm not too sure whether or not it's localized to any particular time zone, or at least the initiating of it started at any particular time zone. So we'll see. I think the best bet is just whatever time it is where you are. If it's midnight, then that's pretty much probably good enough for whatever people are going to be watching this video. If it's if the cockroaches become mutated and become sentient human-like beings, then if I survive, I welcome our new insect overlords. We have 1 more minute left. We will watch on my cell phone the time as it passes. How well you can see that the clock on there, but it's getting close. I know that you really want to watch my clock right now, which is not coming in focus at all. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that. And it's midnight, so while it wouldn't focus, I hope you will at least see a pixel change there. It did change. I don't have autofocus on this camera, sadly, so it is midnight, and so far, I mean, the wind's a bit still, so that it could be the calm before a storm, of course. The only really sound right now is the air conditioners in my building, because I'm outside. You want to be comfortable. I mean, I do live in Florida, so you do want to be comfortable, for the apocalypse, the end of the world. Not to be confused with the gray-skinned, blue-lipped character from Marvel Comics. I don't want to get sued. Disney, please don't come knocking on my door at any point in time. I have no copyright on the apocalypse. So. And by the way, for the sake of those who do own the copyrights on the apocalypse, I am meaning no infringing on this. This is merely, I'm using the apocalypse merely as commentary, and I believe this is fair use of the apocalypse. I mean, I'm sure the YouTube watchdogs will be on my back very promptly if this does infringe on anybody's copyrights for the end of the world. So. At the moment, I do see something in the sky, actually. I think it's an airplane. Had me there for a second. It was moving rather slow, so I didn't know what that could have been. The stars are out. I apologize if I'm showing you the bald spot on my head. It's very hard because I have very poor lighting here because it's dark and it's nighttime, and I don't have any lights myself. So if I move the camera, it's and if I have it sitting in any particular position other than where I can easily get to it, it might be stolen. It's the area I live in. I can't. But I'm trying to look at the stars to see if they're still stationary, so they're not falling, they're not moving quickly, as you have seen on some of those really cool time-lapse photos of sky at night. Okay, I did thought I saw a very bright light, but it actually happened to be the building's exterior light. That was I think a flood lamp. Check the time again. It's 3 minutes past. Oh, sorry. It is three minutes past apocalypse right now. Sometimes these. Just got a text message. It says apocalypse has been postponed temporarily. Sorry for the inconvenience, and will more than likely happen sometime tomorrow. Please keep an eye out. If not, they will leave a note on the door. So okay. Oh, there's another one. Please do not ride in the streets. Yes, of course. Until the actual apocalypse happens, and you can, be free to eat your babies. So I mean, okay, that's fine. Basically, I will check in periodically throughout tomorrow, which is the 21st, Friday, the day of the apocalypse. So 3 minutes. 3 minutes past. I think it's what, 5 minutes past now. 4 minutes past the apocalypse. So it's. But you know what I mean? If the United Postal Service is to blame for this, I can completely understand, because I do a lot with eBay. I mean, people order these things, for a particular, and of course nowadays with the U.S. Postal Service, it is, December 21st. It's around Christmas. Come on, you have to know these things are not going to be delivered on time. There's a big rush on deliveries, so maybe a couple hours, maybe a couple days. I mean, it's just, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying anything at the moment. Like I said, I will periodically check in throughout the day to update you whether or not anything interesting happens. But till then, no, that's another airplane. Okay, well, until then, I will. You will see, probably a junk right here, and it will be the next update as far as the apocalypse 2012. I was going to say 2010. Yeah, right. So this is 5 minutes past apocalypse right now. Running a little bit late. This, like I said, this is a holiday rush. So that in the because not only holiday rush but the apocalypse rush. The highways are backed up. It's almost like it is with hurricane, down again Florida, South Florida specifically. You have a rush at the gas pumps, so that backs up highway traffic, backs up the interstate I-95, backed up right now. So I'm probably sure he's probably somewhere around Port St. Lucie. Apocalypse is somewhere around there, but it's going to be heading soon. I don't know if you can hear that rumbling sound. Maybe is that the no, that's my neighbor with a moped. Okay, well, all right. I will check in with you later. Okay, well, according to some of the official times that I found online, it's supposed to happen probably about like 6:45 or something like that in the morning Eastern Standard Time. So it'll be another update then. So yeah. So I'll catch you then. If not, if I hear anything in the night, then I'll also be alarm bangs or which around in the neighborhood I live in, it's probably just drunk neighbors. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll keep you up to date. Okay, people. Here I am. It is see the time here. It is 6:06. There's about 5 minutes left, according to sources on the internet about the end of the world. Now, I'd like to take this time actually to to show you what my survival kit box is. You know, in case we happen to physically survive, this is stuff you want to have on you. Obviously, you got to have self-protection. That's one thing. Oh yes, if you happen to have one, oh yes, you must have delicious Pringles. That's something that you need. An X-Acto knife in case you have to perform, surgery on yourself in the middle of the day. A copy of Back to the Future trilogy on DVD, for two reasons. Number one, it's a good example of good filmmaking, but also to rebuild society. If you want to rebuild society, why not do it after Back to the Future? I mean, you have the 50s, a lot of good moral character there, unless they model after Biff, but whatever. Let me see. Oh, of course, some delicious Twinings. Earl Grey loose tea. Now, it's very important to have loose tea versus tea bags, but that's if I have that time, maybe I'll get into that. The paperback edition, I would have the hardcover of the Alan Wake book. Again, good literature. You have to have with you again to further the rebuilding of the society. Not only that, but it could be read ironically depending on what happens as far as whether or not we end up having a zombie apocalypse. Is not too sure. And of course, ground nutmeg, because a little goes a long way. So these are the things that I think that every survival kit should have. Now, if you notice, the last video I did, I was out here, it was dark, I had a black shirt on, and of course I've starting to grow my beard out, so light wasn't picking me up. I figured I would wear a brighter shirt. This is my ironic Christmas shirt, which is probably ironic now because I'll probably never get to wear it on Christmas, depending on what happens within a few minutes. Now, it is 6:08 a.m. This is again Eastern Standard Time. This is according to sources on the internet. Now, some people want to question, say, well, basically, it's the internet. Do you really want to trust them for your information? And all I have to say to them is Wikipedia. If Wikipedia, is false, if anything on Wikipedia is ever false, then I will hang up my hat and no longer be a part of civilized society, because that's something I think a lot of us trust and a lot of us know we trust. So I really don't think the internet will lie to me as far as something is monumentally important as the apocalypse or Armageddon, depending on if you're Canadian. I think that's a conversion of that. Again, looking around, the sky has a purple hue to it. So even though it's not 1999, Prince was right. The sky was all. And it is 10 minutes after 6. Apocalypse. Or Armageddon if you're Canadian. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I don't want to sound rude to my neighbors to the north. Now, I'm guessing maybe the purple sky issue could be. Please forgive me if I'm a mess. Didn't really sleep too much because this weighed heavy on my mind. That, and I had a chicken gordita that didn't agree with me, and it kind of got me. You ever have the habit of your stomach just gets knotted up and wakes you up, and then you don't even want to move because I don't want to poo like at 2 in the morning, but and then you eventually get up, and then it's like it takes forever because I guess because it's I don't know. But anyway, now as far as the sky's concerned, I will do something very, very, very something I don't want to really do, and that's I'm going to be taking my camera, as you can tell here. Let's go this way. Let's let's go this way. See what, now, the main reason for me, lighting back here is terrible. You have to be well lit for the end of the world, people. This is something that, well, not a lot of newscasters are going to, well, I mean, they have lighting technicians and stuff like that every time they are on location. Unfortunately, I don't. So right then you probably just saw nothing but a bunch of black screen, or African American screen if you happen to be overly sensitive. But the sky is, let me see if I can maybe get a good shot of the sky here. This is the shrub which is outside of my house. There's a hue to the sky. Again, my camera, I apologize. Perhaps when Armageddon shows up, he can hand me a, or she, maybe a she. I cannot, you know, be sexist on these things, or misogynistic, or that's a weird word, misogynistic. I always thought that had something to do with massages, but that was. And then again, when you're a kid, you know, when you hear a weird word, the closest thing that word you actually know is what pops in your head. Right now, it's kind of cool. Which for people who vacation in Florida, you may think it's the end of the world. Maybe, you know, because I worked at a grocery store, and it's one thing I always heard is, you know, people complaining because it was cold in Florida. I came down here to get away from the cold, you know. I mean, yeah, people come from Colorado, New York, you know, Jersey, you know, Michigan, you know, so they come down here because it's Florida and it's supposed to be hot, and you know, and it has to be the one out of what 5 days of the entire year we actually get winter here, and then they're complaining their heads off. So, I mean, I personally enjoy it because I enjoy the cold because, you know, I'm born and raised in Florida here, but you know, I get tired of sweating to death, and being, you know, a man of the girth that I have, it doesn't take much to sweat, but I digress. So, let me see. Well, it's officially 3 minutes past Armageddon. Not like last time. That was a false start because, you know, I assumed it was midnight. Just the day approaching, I didn't know it was an exact time. So I'm assuming that the 6:10 in the morning issue came from maybe because where the mines were located geographically. That where that would be, I guess, midnight. So 6:10 here would be midnight there. I'm not sure how that would work. I'm not real good on international date lines. I mean, I tried a couple websites, but they were all the women were from the Philippines for some reason. I could never figure out why. There's, you know, I would imagine it would have been rioting in the streets, you know, cracks forming in this Earth's surface. At least, you know, maybe an earthquake here in Florida, because, you know, we don't have earthquakes in Florida, so if you have an earthquake where there normally isn't one, that's maybe a sign of something. Nothing's falling out of the sky, but it is kind of cloudy, so, oh, hello. Is there 2 Armageddons? Oh. Okay. Sorry, that was, I set the alarm for my, on my phone, but I apparently hit the snooze button earlier on the alarm. That actually almost happened. I set my clock for. I did catch a little bit of sleep last night, but you know, so I set my clock and I almost got up and hit the snooze button. I'm like, stupid! You're gonna miss the end of the world. Come on, this is great journalism right here. So I have to, you know, I have to turn this off. So, at any rate, I mean, like I said, it's cloudy, so if there's any meteorites falling, I probably don't see it at the moment. But I mean, it's still early, so ringtone. Hold on, maybe. Oh, it's Apocalypse or Armageddon, or his or herself. Okay. Hello. Yes. Calling in sick. Okay. Is something wrong? just got a cold. Not really feeling like getting out of bed today. No, I completely understand. I've had it happen before. Maybe later today or in a week. Dayquil and NyQuil. Yeah, Dayquil and NyQuil. That's basically, it'll knock it right out of you. But be careful. Don't go outside, especially if you're in the north right now. Because if you're in the cold, it might escalate something else. So, yeah. With that, I think that's natural if you take Mucinex. Yeah. I know it looks like something that belongs out of a the Aliens film or something. Yeah, believe me, I've had that happen. It is kind of ironic that's their spokesman. Yes, it does sort of look like that, except for without the hat and tie. Okay, well, no, get some rest, definitely, because we want you at your best. But before you go, though, I do have. Did you happen to talk to anybody else? As far as, was there any other? Because I know you had, that guy who claimed to be a Christian a couple of years ago, or about a year or so ago, and then you had the Mayans. Is there anybody else who not Nostradamus, several times? Okay, but you just like jerking him around. Okay, well that's. Oh, well, he did look kind of stupid. Yes. It was pretty funny doing all that cryptic stuff. Yeah, exactly. He was right about one thing. Chia pets. I don't recall. Oh, I see it now. It's funny when you hear him in retrospect. That it makes a lot more sense. Yeah, it's really X Factor. Really, I don't have an antenna on my TV, so I don't get in. No. What do you mean? Oh, that's. Well, I can't. I don't have the money to pay for cable. That's why. I think that's a bit rude. Okay, look, I gotta go, okay? Because I'm gonna run out of battery juice here. Because again, you're late. So, well, I didn't say it was your fault. You got a cold, or that that's what you're claiming this time. All right, look, I gotta go. Okay, all right. So, all right, sorry about that. Not gonna happen. And that was really disappointing. I was kind of looking forward to it this time. Whoever that guy was, I can't remember his name anymore, but a couple years ago, who was swearing up and down, because he did a Da Vinci Code with the Bible or something, I don't know, but he swore up and down he knew the end date, and then now the Mayans come in. The Mayans, they were a primitive society who, if I'm not mistaken, worshiped the sun. That might have been, let me see, Olmec, Maya, Aztec, Inca. That's one of them. I can't remember. I would figure that a technologically advanced society such as that would have, the right information. But yeah, I'm not seeing it. He did say that there might be some nuclear weapons launches maybe in the coming months. He said watch CNN, but don't believe half what they say. So, And then he had to take a cheap jab at, Fox News because, he votes Democrats. You take from that what you will. So, I'm hearing booms. I don't know if that's, gunfire, bombs going off or people closing their car doors. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but let me check the time again. It's a very disappointing Armageddon, folks. It's already, been 10 minutes or more since. But again, if you have a cold, I mean, that's something that you got to take care of. So I don't know, maybe next year, in another 5, maybe 10 years or so, we'll have some other person of equal credibility tell us when the world's going to end. And there's actually a homeless guy that's hangs out at the grocery store. I'm going to ask him to see what he thinks. He's always rambling something, about chickens. I'm not, so maybe he knows a thing or two, because I think that's the escalation. Crackpot, fake Christian, Mayans, ancient civilization, and then homeless guy. I think that's the progression of that. So yeah, okay. Sorry for the disappointment, folks, but what are you gonna do? It's anyways. So we'll see you next Armageddon. Hopefully by then it'll he won't stub his toe or something. So enjoy the rest of 2012. Maybe I will actually be able to wear this on Christmas. And we'll see you in 2013. Maybe if doesn't immediately feel better. So see you next time.